And now let's turn our attention to Libya, where sorrow has given way to rage. Last week brought the worst floods in Libya's modern history. Thousands have died in the city of Derna. 2 dams burst here. They swept entire neighborhoods into the sea. The death toll has crossed 11,000 by most counts and will likely continue to rise. 11,000 people dead. The people of Derna now demand accountability. Hundreds took to the streets with tears in their eyes. They asked for justice. The demonstrators accused Libyan authorities of neglect. They're furious at local politicians and the misgovernance in the country. They even burnt down the house of Derna's mayor. But will their anger bring about change? Here's our report.
Last week, Libya saw one of its worst disasters in modern history. A powerful storm hit the country, Storm Daniel. The rains it brought led to a bigger disaster. 2 dams burst near the city of Derna. These were old dams, creaking and cracking from the weight of the water they held. This was before the storm struck, but when it did, the dams gave way, and the floods swept away an entire chunk of Derna.
Almost a quarter of the city is gone, between those dead, those missing, as well as others who lost their homes. Certainly the situation will change completely. The flood took place in the heart of the city and not on the outskirts.
Thousands were washed away into the Mediterranean. Many were buried beneath the rubble as the water tore down buildings. And the residents of Derna have been trying to rescue people ever since. They've also been burying their loved ones. Now their grief is giving way to anger. The people of Derna want to punish those responsible for this horror, and fingers are being pointed at Libya's politicians. You see, Libya is in a fix politically. It has 2 governments and no governance, at least in Derna. One Libyan government is based in Tripoli. That's the one the UN recognizes, but it doesn't govern Derna. Libya's other government is based in the country's east, in the city of Tobruk. This government is backed by the Libyan National Army. It's an armed force commanded by Field Marshal Khalifa Haftar, and this force helped bring Derna under Tobruk's control. But amid the sieges and territorial battles, one thing that was missing was actual governance. Some officials in Derna reportedly knew that the nearby dams were in need of repair. But which government would they answer to? Who would hold them to account? The politicians were busy currying favor with one regime or the other. Now the people of Derna have had enough. They are demanding justice. Hundreds gathered around a local mosque yesterday.
The demands of people are not heard by MPs and politicians who have unfortunately appointed someone only interested in harming the city. So people protested. People are now demanding a radical change, whether targeting those from the previous regime or that which followed.
The protesters demand a speedy investigation into the disaster. They want legal action taken against people found guilty of negligence. They want a probe into the current city council budget and previous ones as well. But it isn't just legal action that the protesters want. Some have also blamed Derna's mayor for the disaster. His house was set on fire. It seems the people of Derna are going after everyone they think is responsible in whatever manner they deem fit. And the government in Tobruk has finally taken notice. The head of the eastern-based government, Osama Hamada, has reportedly dissolved the Derna City Council. He apparently ordered an investigation into it. Talk about too little too late. And is this really about justice, or just a way for Libya's politicians to placate the people of Derna before it's business as usual?